Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in.
I'm Rippy.
And I'm Shake.
And we're the ladies in law.
And we're ripping and shaking up all the legal information you know, need to know, and want to know.
From the tabloids to the courthouse to your own home.
And on this particular episode, we wanted to touch on something that, well, we weren't necessarily taught in law school, so you're not really taught it. It's about subjective strategy when you're trying to win the best outcome for your client in a case. Not like the legal strategy, the legal arguments you're used to hearing, like this is the evidence, this is what the law requires.
Self-defense.
Yeah, no, this is subjective strategy. And we actually had a case recently that the whole case hinged on the subjective strategy and getting our client the best outcome. We had a young man who was involved in a club shooting. It was a big brawl between two groups of friends outside of a club that somebody was ultimately shot from. And I mean, this was like, everybody's drunk. This is 2 a.m. It was a mess. But this guy, this young man, was the last person we expected we would meet in prison. Remember meeting him?
He had these like pop bottle glasses. He was a little nerdy. He was very quiet and reserved.
Shy,
you know, not somebody who you would expect to be shooting someone.
No, not at all. And he, in fact, came from a pretty outstanding family. It was, it was unique. So there were issues, though, with the legal arguments that we could make.
So we knew that there was some of the evidence was stacked against him. He admitted to us that he had a gun on him, and other people had seen him carry a gun. Now, he didn't admit to shooting the gun, which, the prosecutor would have had to prove. But we knew that, obviously, he did something wrong. He was carrying a gun. He didn't have a license, so that he was carrying a concealed weapon without a license. That is a felony in Michigan, with the maximum penalty being 5 years. So we knew that there was some evidence. He did something wrong, but we wanted to make sure that he was not unfairly punished by the judge for what he did. So when we were deciding our legal strategy, we knew that we couldn't just go to the judge and be like, look, he's completely innocent. He didn't do anything. The prosecutor can't prove any charges. We knew that there was some evidence against him based on just the sheer number of people that were out there and the number of witnesses that actually saw him with the gun in his hand.
Right.
So instead, we really needed to convince the judge that, look, this is a young man who made a mistake, albeit a serious mistake. It is a felony. However, he should not be unfairly punished. He should do his time for the crime, but at the same time, he should be able to get out and continue on the course, go back to school, and be a productive member of society. We really just wanted to make sure that he was not unfairly punished for the things that he did.
And the issue with this case, so he was being charged with assault with intent to cause great bodily harm, felony firearm, and carrying a concealed weapon. These are all felonies. He was facing
30 years.
30 years of prison time. And like Jasmine was saying, the evidence, although was not completely against him, it was going to be an uphill battle to try to win his case and get him completely off scot-free. So we couldn't really go off those legal arguments. We did. We had to get creative, and we really put our heads together. And, he had an amazing family, and this family really came in. So we came up with some really great subjective arguments that helped us out. One, visually in a courtroom, courtrooms are not big. I know, like, on Law and Order, it seems like they're so huge, but a lot of courtrooms are actually really small. So, and they get filled up very quickly just by defendants and attorneys and court officers. But the public can come in, and we knew this, and we knew that this young man had an extensive support system, which is huge in deciding whether an individual will be successful once they leave being incarcerated. So I said to his mother, I said, you got to have as much of the family and friends and community come in, and you guys all have to wear the same color clothing, so you stand out to the judge. And I can point out to the judge, hey, everybody here.
The people here to support him.
Yes, exactly. And she was even more intelligent and strategic and came up with, they all walked in, every court appearance he had. I mean, this young man was incarcerated. So he was in a yellow suit. They all came in wearing white. I mean, like heaven, like the angels.
White, everything.
Everything, head to toe. And it was something even the judge noticed. I mean, said in court. I see his family. I see his friends. Everybody there in all white, like they are every time. And I mean, I kid you not, we had at least 15 individuals every single time.
Every single court hearing.
Yeah, so that was huge. Another thing we knew we needed to get were letters of support. I mean, and this isn't letters of support for your mama and your father and people like that. No, these are letters of support from the entire community. I think we had letters from his
pastor, from teachers that had taught him, and all different type of people in the community that had positive interactions with him.
Right. And going to that, after that, it was really important. I think we had like 50 letters, by the way.
Yeah.
After that, we also made sure to get transcripts. You wouldn't think to get a defendant's transcript, but showing that somebody is actually in school. This young man was actually going to university to become an accountant, only had 1 semester left, had done amazing on his like SATs, ACTs, gotten accepted to many colleges. We included the college admission letters and
everything. I mean, because when it comes to sentencing, the judge is going to consider everything. So the prosecutor is able to present his arguments, the witnesses are able to make statements, and us as defense attorneys, we can really show our client in a positive light. So that's what we do. We prepare a sentencing memorandum for the judge, and the judge will read it. And we want to show the judge, look, our client is not a bad person. Yes, he may have done something wrong, but he has all of this stuff going for himself. He's not the type of person that needs to spend decades in prison. So we submitted the letters and the transcripts, and all of that with the sentencing memo for the judge to consider when making sentencing. So when it comes to sentencing, judges have a lot of leeway.
They do.
If the judge likes you, the judge is going to give you the lower end of the sentencing guidelines. If they don't like you, they're going to give you the higher end. So really what we saw opportunity and as far as our legal strategy to come in and advocate for our client was really in the sentencing stage, and we were able to work out an excellent deal for him.
Right, it was an unheard of deal. I mean, in fact, I even had to prepare him. I remember going to prison and preparing him for when he got sentenced, he can say something to the judge and to the court. And I said, listen, you gotta take ownership and you take responsibility and own up and show that you're a good person who really messed up. Really did something wrong, and you're gonna own it. But we got this young man to be sentenced. He could have faced 30 years to maximum 2 years in prison.
And then 1 year of probation.
1 year of probation. And it was unheard of. And the judge noted it. The judge actually, he was sentencing him, said, all of these things outside of the actual crime and the actual law has made me believe that this young man will leave prison and continue as he did before, other than this blip, and be a successful person in our community.
Right. So the takeaway really that we want to give you all is that when thinking about a legal strategy, you want to think about all types of possible avenues, and subjective strategy is what we did in this case have been very persuasive. And really the law isn't just about the black letters and what's in the text. It's really about people, and if judges can see this person as a human being, with loving family and support and goals and ambitions, and the judge will give the person the opportunity to come out and be a successful, productive member of society, with the hopes that this won't happen again. Right.
So, cheers to facing 30 and our client only getting 2.
Cheers.
Cheers.